All right. Well.
All right. So, what were we talking about, bro?
All right. So let's
What'd you
introduce
think,
the
bro?
podcast.
What should we? Should we like actually think of a name?
No, I think we just introduce it and then be like, it's a
All right,
podcast we
guys.
don't know yet. But
Welcome
it'll be
to the
named
podcast.
once we post it. It's gonna have a name, so everyone will know. Welcome to the title of this podcast, whatever
To
it is.
BA.
TVA. Okay.
That will be the title.
So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. What's going on, guys? My name's Hasnan. I am 28 years old, born and raised. Well, actually, I was born in Beaumont, which we're in Beaumont right now, but I grew up in Vider, which is like 5 minutes down the road.
My name is Tommy, aka Viet Po Boy.
Sultan, shout out. TikTok.
Sultan, as most of you may know. But insert guy, DY Road guy. Okay.
Okay.
And so I'm 23 years old. Born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, where we
True.
are now.
Right way to say it.
And then, yeah, my parents are from Vietnam. So,
My parents are from Pakistan.
yeah. And then that's us.
That's right.
All right,
Two
so
Asians
should we retell the story?
with some persuasion. Retell the story of what? How we met?
Yeah. Our love
Chipotle.
story. Chipotle.
Chipotle, where great friendships are made.
Chipotle.
And
great music.
Great music. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true. And that's where Dusty works at. Shout out.
Shout out Dusty. Beaumont.
Shout out Dust.
Hey, if you guys ever are in the Beaumont Chipotle, there's only one, so
Yeah.
yeah, hit up Dusty.
Yeah. Let them know that they need more spoons out there on the floor.
Okay. So from my perspective, I'll tell my perspective again.
All right.
My perspective was, knew this guy Justin, worked out with him at World Gym, or not even work out with him, but knew each other through there, and then pulled up to Total Nutrition, which is a nutrition store here in Beaumont. Talked to him about gyms and stuff. Hey, my buddy's building a gym down the road. Check it out. Drove by
this
it.
menace behind us.
Followed. Oh my gosh. Wayne. This story's about Wayne too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories. Sorry, go ahead.
But starting with this story though, my perspective was that Justin told me about the gym, followed the gym page, and then once I got to the gym page, I saw his face on the gym page, and then it was just one day I was like picking up Chipotle, and then yeah, you can take it from there, I guess.
So, you think that's too loud?
I don't know.
No.
All right, bet.
All right. So you want my perspective now?
So yeah, that's how I got to Chipotle.
Okay, listen.
and
My
knew of
perspective is I wake up every day and at 10:45 I'm at Chipotle. Okay, I'm probably fighting for my life because I didn't have breakfast. Blood sugar's dropping to the bare minimum, so I barely drag myself through the doors. I get my bowl and I'm sitting there eating, minding my own business, and then this menace comes around the corner, while I'm just trying to survive, cling on. No, I'm just kidding. But no, so like I'm sitting there, it's just another day for me. Like going to eat, like I go to Chipotle because it's down the street. I can eat it pretty quickly and I can get back to the gym.
Yeah,
right.
Everyone knows Chipotle. Yeah.
But it's crazy to think like I'd say one of the realest friendships I've made just came from like something I just did every day. The opportunity. So it's like Tommy came around, introduced himself, and I was like, hey, why don't you just sit down with me if you're going to eat here, And we just started talking, and it was like talking and then realizing we had a lot in common. And I was like, hey, you should definitely come out to the gym, give your input, see what it's like.
Yeah. And then I wasn't even going to go up there. I was like, dude, what's the harm?
That's crazy. You weren't going to even come up here after I invited you? That's
no,
crazy.
I meant like
it'd be the ones closest to you.
Bro, I was like, how long? So this was 2 months ago too. So it wasn't that long ago. And here we are. But
we did a lot in 2 months. If you think about it, put in a lot of a lot of concepts, ideas, a lot of social media.
Look at us, like we literally made it here 2 months now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, I was like, dude, hey, aren't you guy that's doing that gym down there? or something like that. And then we always joke about how, like, what if you just said like, nah, man, that's not me.
Yeah. We joke about if I would have just like brushed it off,
Raw,
but I
none
mean,
of this. Dude.
but I know. See, like, I know, like, there's so many people like that. Like, you got something going on. You're doing something other people aren't doing, or you're somewhere in your life that other people aspire to be. Like, doesn't mean you should be a douchebag. Like, there's everybody. People are the same. Like, like people want the same things, and like, whenever I see someone that's interested in it, that was me. Before I was building it, I was interested in it for like over 10 years. I would be awesome to find someone that I could actually sit and talk to. Like, I don't know. I think about it, I'm like, what would I have wanted,
Yeah.
right? If I had that opportunity
Yeah.
to like someone see what someone else was doing.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't think that you would have those same things. I mean, like, I guess, like, after seeing all your stuff, I knew what I wanted, and I felt the same way also,
Yeah.
and, like, I guess more of that story is, like, I feel like you have to make your opportunity.
Well, of course. Like, I was telling you, remember, I was like, if you wouldn't have said anything,
Yeah.
because that's the thing. Like, I was there, but you said something, so it's like you started it. If you wouldn't have said anything, it would have been another
Right.
day for me. I don't know how often you go to Chipotle get, an order, but nothing would have changed. Obviously, none of this would have happened.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even thought to make TikTok or like anything. Like,
well, I
it
wouldn't
wasn't
know,
even,
bro. I was sleeping on it. I was just pushing YouTube, which was inconsistently,
Yeah.
so it wasn't going
I mean,
nowhere.
it's wild. I mean, like, what, like, we'll just put our numbers now. Like, what, you're at, like, 5,600 last time I saw around there?
I'm about to be at 6K
Yeah.
within like let's say a month of consistency.
Yeah. I'm about, and then I'm like right at like 1,600 almost. I mean,
when you started, where were you at? Do you remember? Like when it was like
no,
inconsistent.
Dude, I wasn't
Man, I
even,
think
like,
I had like maybe 40 followers.
yeah, like less than 100.
I
Like,
think
for
I had
sure.
like 40 followers, and I was posting like I posted this one video where it was like, watch me transform my body in 90 days, and I was doing like 75 hard.
Yeah,
But then I kind of like
yeah.
fell off, and then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna keep trying to diet and train.
Yeah.
And then realistically, I got to the end of it, and it's just like I didn't make it. Like I wasn't committing to the things, and even though I had all this going on, like realistically, like I didn't make the commitment. But that was pretty much all the content I had.
Yeah.
And like a video of like a workout routine or something.
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, like, not only that, but like the transformation of both of us,
Huge, bro.
getting in front of the camera and comfortable,
The confidence, the consistency, the discipline, like,
and just the want to do it, the will to do it. Like,
I tell people all the time, it's just like a lot of times you just need you just need a little bit of someone that kind of almost like wants to grind like you around, because then you get that it's like you're on a team again. Like, remember how we shot that video, and it's like when you have someone else working with you, it's like not about you no more.
Yeah.
And it's like even this whole idea of this gym is like building that type of environment where it's like it's not just about you anymore.
Yeah. Can you pick it up?
Bro, it's fine.
You sure? You can pick it up.
All right.
And we're back.
Right. Sorry about that. I had to answer a phone call.
Bro, this is a busy man.
Hey, man, look.
This is like a very small time window I had to get him here.
Okay, bro. I'm here, bro. I'm just here. I'm just bouncing around.
We will work out.
I can't work out here.
I'm like,
dude,
where does this
every day I come in here with the mindset like I'm gonna train. It's like I'll literally load up the bar and someone's like, "Hey, I need you over here," and then I'm like, "All right, now I'm going back." That could be a video.
That could be a
literally.
video, yeah.
I'm trying to just work out and people are yanking me back.
Bro.
I mean, but realistically, like you have to be like one thing. If there's one thing this whole thing has taught me is like you need to make sure you know everything that's going on at all times, because for one, nobody else is going to care about what you're doing. They're just trying to get it done. You're very rarely going to find people that care. And then for two, it's like if you might see a small problem and be able to prevent it from turning into a big problem that's going to cost you even more money, and the sooner you figure that out, or the sooner you see that problem, the better it is for you and your wallet.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I can't. It's difficult. Just even if no one was dragging me around, like I look for the problem.
Right.
It's like I'm not even like I'll try to work out, but I'm like looking around, like, hey, is this good enough? Could this be better? Does anything like that I missed? And Like today, I found out one of the shower doors, to be like adjusted.
Yeah.
So things like that, it's like I didn't catch it, but I caught it now,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Right.
What if I wouldn't have caught it, Stuff like that keeps me
Yeah.
going.
And then but it also becomes obsessive that time too.
Yeah, was I talking to you about this the other day?
Yeah, because I mean, like, we're out there in the
No,
parking lot, or is that what you're talking about?
I don't remember. I think I was talking to Austin about it the other day, but I was
Yeah,
sitting
yeah, it was
here.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, and I was telling him, I was like, man, uh, I'm here, but it's like, even when I'm not here, I'm here.
yeah,
And it gets to the point where, like, it's like, I don't think it's like I can't be anywhere else, but it's like I don't want to be.
right.
And it's almost like it's a blessing and a curse thing.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
a
I'm gonna say.
blessing
It's like a
because,
double-edged
like,
sword.
there's a joy. I'm here, I'm happy. There's a joy, and I'm able to bring this vision to life and put in all this effort and like find these things that no one else sees, but I'm able to see. And so
Yeah,
I see that, like, you definitely do care and you're going to do a good job because of the things that, I go through. But at the same time, it's never ending because, let's truth be told, like, right now we're building it, right? Once it's built and open, like, I'm going to be looking, like, to address those problems and how to keep going. And then it's almost like a means to no end too. Obsession is like you. I think there's a lot of you got to realize, like, everything else is also happening while whatever you do is happening. And then what are you gonna do?
yeah. Dang. So here, I guess like people don't really know the whole story behind this gym.
I
So
like the idea.
like not only the idea, but where it all started. How did this come into your mind? Where did it first come into your mind? Even fitness or gym was even a thing in your life, I guess.
Uh, Man, honestly, like, I think the first time I ever touched a weight was seventh grade. So you really, like, growing up, I didn't play any, like, little league sports. Seventh grade was like my first experience in sports, and right into the football program, like every other kid, that
Yeah.
was in athletics. You're playing football automatically.
Right.
So, like, we're playing athletics, and I'm like, all right, like, football is fun. I definitely suck at it because I was like super skinny. So I'm like, but it's fun. Yeah, practices are fun. You get to meet, like, friends. And then we got into the weight room, and then I was like, yo, suck at this. Like, people, I remember in junior high, people were like benching a plate and stuff, and I'm like, I can't even bench the bar,
Yeah. Yeah.
That, I think, realistically, benching, when everyone was benching and everyone could bench weight except me, it almost felt like, man, it's weird to explain it because it's like I really like doing things that I suck at. It's
Right.
like builds this curiosity in my head. Like, I think about, I wonder what it would like to not suck at this.
Right.
Like, what would it be like to be as good as not just everyone else, but like, how good could I get at this, knowing that I'm worse than everyone else?
Right.
It's like a challenge, and then I get obsessed with the challenge.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I got stronger over time, and yeah, like, my body developed more. It never, like, I can't ever say that I ever got to the point where I was like really obsessed about pursuing my body, but my mind. I would notice, like, the more I would work out, it would change my mindset. I would feel good. I would want to be there more for, way more than I need to be. Like, I'd be in the gym for hours enjoying it. Honestly, it was just like I was happy.
Yeah. And I think social media now doesn't talk about that much.
Yeah, I mean, now with a lot of things, it's like everybody wants to fit in or be a part of something. So let's say if all the lights are on, the fitness industry are like, hey, this is what's cool, then that's where you're gonna put your attention. But if you want to, truly be fulfilled, you can't be looking for what other people think about what you're doing or where their attention is. You have to kind of figure out, like the way I describe the gym is like I've done a lot of things and I I've had the opportunity to do anything I want, but this was the only thing that I was like, I don't care what happens. Like, I'm happily going to jump into this hole. I'll be happy to fight my way out of it.
Right.
I can't really say that about anything else.
Yeah.
And it's got to be more than just like, you know, I want to get bigger to impress girls, or, I want to be strong, or it's got to be something deeper than that. And that was almost like the start of things, is like, why does this mean so much to me? Like figuring that out. And I think realistically, like asking myself why and trying to like peel back the layers of like kind of like what my purpose is. Because ever since I was a kid, I was, I'm like, oh, I'm meant to do something. Like I'm here for this amount of time, and someday I'm going to die, just like a lot of other people. But I'm meant to do something, right? I don't want to live a life and, you know, everyone's circumstance is different, but I was like, in my circumstances, I don't want to live a life and just be like, oh, I became this, or I made this much money. I just want to help people, right?
Yeah.
And what was the best way I could help people that I felt like I could be great at? Like, there's a lot of things you could probably be good at, but I was like, I could be great at this thing. And it slowly started putting me in this mindset, and then social media started taking off to where it's like you're able to see other people with the same mindset, so you don't feel like, oh, I'm not the only one that thinks like this.
Yeah.
And then you see other people that are actually doing what you're thinking about, and just realizing like, man, that is a dream, to be able to figure out how you can inspire people, make an impact, and then realistically, a lot of it was I was kind of putting it off, because it wasn't like I, figured it out in the beginning. I was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. Like, in junior high, I got a little idea or taste of it. And then through high school, I'm working out, I'm playing games, hanging out with my friends, playing sports, what everyone else is doing. And, I'm still working out, but it's like, as the years went by, there's less and less things that you've done for that long of a period of time. Usually you pick up something and you drop, for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and then, I'm going to school, and I'm like, all right, maybe go to become some type of physician, or become a dentist. Like, those are all great things, and they're prestigious things, but almost seeing it like a ceiling. And I was like, if I'm here and I'm gonna hit the ceiling, is there gonna be anything else? Is that gonna be it? That around college time, when I came back, like, so I went to College Station for a year. I went to Blinn Junior College, and then like I missed my family, and I realized like, man, you don't really want this. It's almost like you're throwing money away, and I knew that from the get go.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna come back. I'll just go to school here. At least I can see my family. Family's important to me. Like for me, there's nothing above my family. And so when I came back, I was like, made me happy. I get to see my mom and dad every day. I get to see my brother and sister every day. Like, I didn't have that, but I do now. Yeah. And so I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still going to school here, still kind of lost, still working out, doing all my other stuff, but at least I got my family nearby. And I'm, realistically, it's like coming from College Station, going to College Station, seeing what kind of life is there, not just in the people, but what they're doing, what their mindset is. And then you come back here where we're at, what it's like here. A lot of people, I feel like, they think that this place is just limited, like everybody's either trying to get out of here, or, things suck here. And it kind of that mindset gets spread so much that people will buy into it. And for a part of my life, I bought into it too.
Yeah, I mean, everyone here has bought into that same thing.
Yeah. And almost like, I can say like growing up, I think that was a part of it too, is like, when I left, I think I left because I thought for me to thrive, I would have to be in like that comfortable environment, right? Where it'd be easier to.
Yeah.
And it was like almost like understanding that, or maybe maturing at the same time, coming back, and you're like, you want to thrive and you want to help people. Where would you be the most help to someone, and it would be in a place that needs you the most or needs what you're trying to do the most. And what better place than like my home? You know, if I can create something here, if I can invest here where, people try to get away from, or people don't, you hear more bad things than good things about, then I think about like, not only do I bring like a certain level of uh like respect to me and like my family, or and my friends, my teachers, like I think about like everyone that's invested into me, I bring them a certain amount of respect that, hey, this, you guys were all a part of building this great thing. And then by putting it here, like a lot of my friends, they have families now, they have kids now. The idea that those kids will grow up and they won't have to hear that about their home,
Yeah.
their home won't suck. They'd be like,
Mhm.
oh, bro, your home's freaking badass,
I think it's even crazier because the people here, when you hear something being built here, you just get backlash. Like it's like
100%.
why here?
Well,
You
it's
know what I mean?
just people,
Uh,
like the history, especially like I grew up in Vidor, right? And the history of Vidor, it's got a terrible past. There's a history, and people are not gonna let go. And like in my opinion, I feel like that's fine. Like you can cling on to it forever.
Yeah.
Everyone can. I don't care. Do whatever you want. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create something so great, and I will recognize that, hey, this is where I was born.
Yep.
This is where I was raised. These The way that I ended up was because of the people in my home. The reason why I'm able to build something so great is because people supported the businesses that, my family started here. You know, those people, more or less like, yeah, like, you're doing it, whatever you're doing on your own, you make your own choices and decisions, but still, like, it's all of that made me who I am. And it's not what, the history book says,
Yeah.
It's not what you search on Google, and not the, you know, racist videos. Like, it, it's just like, you're not going to be able to change everyone. I know that, but it's just like, if I can make one good thing, it's like when you try to pull up the town or something, I want to almost get to a place where like what I built comes before any of the bad, you know, like to where people are searching like the town that this kid may be from, or this this area in general, and they see more good things than the bad things are at the bottom of the Google search.
Yeah, because now you hear people, like you said, like you've never heard this before in your entire life. Like, I want to come to Beaumont.
It's insane, dude. And like, and I knew it. I knew like it wasn't the fact that like, oh, I had to build this multi-million-dollar gym or nothing, but it was just like the idea that people that are not clinging on to this negativity, people that are going to be open-minded, and they're just looking at what it is, what's happening right now. They're not going out of their way to be in a negative mindset, or just kind of. And there's, like I said, there's always people like that, but people hit me up all the time. Man, I'm gonna drive from Alabama. I'm gonna fly from Oklahoma. Hey, I want to visit. Like I'm in the Houston area. Hey, I grew up in Beaumont. I moved away. I'm so excited when I come
Yeah.
back into town now. We got something now. They say things like that, and that fires me up, because I'm like, to them, now they feel like they got something in their home. And I was able to create that, and this is just this is just the beginning. But knowing that those guys believe in it, people are willing to drive or fly or travel or wait in line or whatever, wherever this thing goes. That makes me go even like harder than I have before. That's why like I feel like a lot of things has changed, and it's like, honestly, I think about it as like God's timing, but it's like when I getting close, it's like you came into my life, and then you helped get the ideas that I had in my head and helped me navigate, and how those turned out, and they blew up.
Yeah. I mean, listen to me. Like my story. Like I was literally about to move to Houston.
Yeah, that's actually another crazy story.
That's
Yeah,
a
you
really
should
crazy
tell that
thing.
story. That's actually crazy too.
Because before, I was still set on going to Houston. I was like, and after I checked out the gym, everything, I was like kind of regret it. Cause I was like, man, dude, this gym is awesome, but I know I have to move.
I'm out. Yeah.
And I'm like,
I forget about that all the time.
Yeah,
That you were about to leave.
I forget it too because that's how crazy it is. It just kind of like, I mean, there was no ever moment I was like, yep, I'm staying.
Yeah.
You know, it was just always like, yeah, I'm gonna have to move because
Right.
it's
You
just
have to.
nothing here. And I was just like, you know, I mean, the family business here, we do nails and stuff, but I was set on moving. Then we just started doing things. We just started recording. We started
Yeah.
content creation. We just started making things, and it just became an obsession. And
I think
something
I
that
think that was the big difference is like I knew I was doing things, but just kind of seeing like how much more I could do, and almost like you're able to see like that same hunger, and kind of being able to like I think everyone needs help, like you can only do so much on your own.
right.
And like for me, I'm like trying to do all these things, and it's almost like I spread myself too thin. But I know I need all those things, right?
Yeah.
Just having like a little bit of support here or there with the family and friends, and then finding, the fact of the matter is like you find those real genuine people that are just like trying to do what you're trying to do.
Right.
Like, what you were able to do for me, no matter how minimal it may seem, it's just like that. It's a huge impact, and it's like I know that I was able to probably do the same for you, and I know that this thing that we basically did, where we went, and how it's changed in this past month of not just like the content creation, but like just how much we're how much more we want now,
Yeah.
and how much we're not even thinking, we're just doing now.
Yeah.
That's like the same thing that I wanted for. It's almost to say like I wanted that here because it's like when you're surrounded by that, then you really thrive.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, it's just the two of us.
It is, yeah.
It's just the two of us, and I mean, mathematically, it's like if it's two people, you should be double the work or doubling the production or whatever.
Right.
But I think it's exponential.
Oh, 100%.
It's been exponential with just two people.
It's a quality. Like with the gym,
Yeah.
like I tell people all the time, like, this is far beyond any expectations or anything that I used to dream about, this was like, I would start out with something small and work my way, and then watching like people on YouTube that had these big gyms after their hundreds of thousands of followings and all that, I was like, maybe someday, right? And to know like, no, dude, you're here, you're here right now. And understanding that because how much it's like almost people miss the mark that having a high standard, having high quality, and really just like not holding yourself back. When the more people you have like that, it's almost like it's not double like you said. It's like that's like 10 times. That's 10 normal people.
Yeah.
Having 3 people, that's like 30 normal people, average people that are clocking in 9 to 5. Like how many nights we're here till like 5 in the morning.
I mean, nights we were freezing. We
had the little propane heater
we'll have clips and stuff showing you guys. But
that's the difference.
And like I probably wouldn't have stayed up here for anything else, really. Like
I don't know. I think about it, it's like what have I ever stayed up for like that?
I don't even think about staying. Like it didn't even seem that way, really.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like it's an obsession.
Yeah,
it's just like you take anything that may seem unreasonable or reasonable, like you take all these like limits off, and you're like, this is what I'm doing, and I'm not stopping.
Yeah,
and it's just like one thing after the next. Hey, if it doesn't work, who cares?
Hey, I mean, like even the first couple of weeks we've known each other and like actually like started like before we even started doing, we were just talking, really.
Yeah,
like all of this was just talk.
But it was just like this, right?
Yeah.
Like we're shooting a video now. It's like on a platform now, but this turned into action.
Yeah.
Right. And then the action became something beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the reality of by taking action, I can, like the videos that reached, hundreds of thousands, that one video that reached 1 million views, like how many days would it take you to talk to 1 million people?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like being able to just keep going, banger goes off. Next video, couple hundred, that's fine. Keep going, keep going. 600,000 video. It's just knowing like, hey, if I just keep going, eventually I'll get to a place where like these numbers will be consistent. But it's
Right.
like it doesn't matter. The numbers don't matter.
Numbers don't matter.
What matters is like we get up every day and we're like, hey, we gotta do something today. We gotta shoot something today. We gotta record the podcast. We gotta start the podcast today. We're not waiting for ideal circumstance. We're not waiting to learn about it or whatever.
Yeah,
We're just
I mean,
sending
like,
it, bro.
Yeah, we're looking. We have dumbbells set up.
Yeah,
all this, like, this is all.
we're just doing it because this is for anyone else that's gonna start. It's gonna look like this.
Yeah.
It's not gonna look like any of the.
Honestly, I kind of want it to look like this.
Yeah, I mean,
this
it's
is
the reality.
something like I want to look back on
Yeah.
and say like, hey, I'm glad this is where we did and what we started.
I mean, yeah, even the videos that we did shoot. Remember like how you were saying like when I first started shooting, I was asking you, I was like, hey, can you edit my videos because I don't like editing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you're like, yeah, bro, I'm down to edit. And then I was like, hey, do you have any critique on my videos since you kind of watch YouTube videos and what I'm trying to do. And it was bad.
Yeah.
It was the worst, but it was pretty bad. But
yeah.
from where they went to where it's now, it's night and day,
Yep.
And it's funny, I think about it all the time. I was like, I don't remember when things changed. Like, I don't remember, like, what was there? There was a changing point. I just feel like one day I think I just woke up and I was like, this is who I am,
Yeah. I mean,
Like, I'm the guy that, does this, makes these videos, and I take these pictures, or I talk about this, or this is what I say. Because that is who I am,
yeah.
And I don't really care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I was like, what I'm doing, I know, like, in my heart, like, what's the intentions? It's for good reasons, and I know, like, I care a lot about not just what I'm doing, but I care a lot about the people. And it's almost like when you know yourself, then, you're truly free. Like, then you're like, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, says, whatever, like, only I can really hold me back.
Right.
And then the ceiling is gone.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of times we just get fired up.
Yeah, bro.
We
Fired
always
up
say
right now,
fired
bro.
up, man.
Fired up right now.
Yeah. I mean, just talking about it, thinking about it just gets me wanting to do it. Like, I always want to go shoot right now, really.
I mean, yeah, it's a pure thing. I think we're lucky because I don't know, like when you go back to Vietnam, but like when I go to Pakistan, it really gives you perspective. You get to really see how terrible it is for some people, and they'll never know like an ounce of like what you think is like you take for granted. And like even I don't know if I told you, but it's like when I got corona and I lost like my smell and taste, and it'd been a week, and I'm like, damn, bro, like how long is it supposed to last? And I would start researching, and people are like, it's been 6 months for me, a year for me.
Right.
And things like that, especially when you get something taken away that you took for granted, you start thinking like, damn. So this is what, I've had it for this long, and let's say it is gone. I wonder what it's like. This is how I think. I think about like, I wonder what it's like for people that never had that, Because for me, like, I'm like, damn, this sucks,
Yeah.
It's almost like, there's a real sadness losing like a sense, but like there's some people that were never even given that. And just, I always keep those things in the back of my head and try to be as grateful as I can, because otherwise, you're not going to end up any good, I think. You really got to be grateful and realize like, you don't know what people got to go through. All you know really is what you went through and what you've seen, which sometimes, what you've seen, that might not be anywhere close like to what's really going on. But I do know like what I've been through, right? I do know how I felt. I know things that made me happy, things that made me sad. I know what it's like, to not be doing nothing. If you're like, depressed, I know what it's like, and knowing what it's like, and then knowing there's so many people out there that just don't have the opportunity that I have. That it's just like, I feel like I guess like the world's like counting on me to be great. Like I've been given that chance, like God gave me the chance out of all those people. So it's up to me to be great now.
For sure, yeah. And I think like, you know, people are going through that right now. Like you said, like all these bad things that happen or like you witness or go through, you know, like coming out at the end of it, you know, and being I guess it's just a perspective that you have now that you know what you're working for.
Yeah. And I always knew, like, I was lucky. I remember when I was a kid, like, when I was young, there was a lot of things that we had to do without, And it was just, those were the circumstances. Like, my parents were young, they immigrated, we didn't have nothing. But, they did their best to make me feel like, I had everything. But being around for that time, and then being able to see that, I use those memories to drive me, like the things that my parents had to go through, for a lot of things, like, that's what I think about. I think about my parents. I'm like, whatever I'm going through ain't nothing.
Yeah.
And so, like, they grinded for me, for me, my brother, my sister. And so I grind for them. And then I feel, it's almost to say I feel like unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like, no one, nothing can stop me because of, like, I know that, people pay the price to get me here. No matter how much I do, like, it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like that sacrifice, And I feel it, like, it goes deeper and deeper to where, I come from and what I've seen and, like, the bad things that have happened, The things that, there's a lot, man.
Bad things are still going to happen too.
Yeah. But it's just like being able to see it, especially people that, you love, you care about. I know I feel like the purpose, I feel like when I do stuff, it comes from a deeper place. A lot of people, it's easy to just quit, when you don't have like that, like the why,
The why.
I mean, that's why I named it. I was like, that for me, the secret. When I thought about what is that game changing, ability? What's the thing that got you here? What makes you think? What makes you go? What makes you fight? What makes you get back up? Like, and it's just why. I think about why, and it gives me like a flashback. And I flash back and I see the things that I saw when I was a kid, the things that I saw my parents go through, my family go through, the things that I went through. And it hits me at once, and then I got it. Knowing that I cultivated that as a tool in the gym, spending time in the gym working on myself, and I was almost like I would look at myself and I would see that, and then understanding it over time. That is the message I want to get across to people, that belief, so they can, be great. And understanding, like, put all this BS aside, put all this drama aside, put all these people just, it takes a long time for, I think, a lot of people, and some people never realize how much of a bad, influence or environment they're in, and it could, sometimes you can't get out of it, but a lot of times, there's some friends that, you got to cut off. There's, some places where you shouldn't be. There's some things that you shouldn't be doing. And you don't realize it because everyone makes it acceptable or that it's okay. And, it's just like, I'm blessed for everything that I went through because it got me here. And I get it,
Yeah. And I think you hit the nail on that, really. But let's just wrap it up here. Call it the episode.
Episode 1.
What do you have to say to the people watching this? Actually made it all the way to here.
I want to say, if you're still watching this, give me like 5 minutes. I want to say, if you're still watching this, go back and listen to that last part I said. And just close your eyes and think about wherever you're at, how you got there, and whatever you're going through, whatever your circumstances are, just accept it for what it is. And if you want to be better, say that you want to be better. Speak it into existence. Open your eyes, get up, and get after it.
And write it down.
And write it down, yeah. Writing down, for me, writing down helped, but really speaking it. Changing things to, instead I want to try or I want to think, just saying I'm going to.
Yeah.
Change the way you talk to yourself. Change the way you think about yourself. Surround yourself with greatness, even if that means being alone. I mean, there was a time in my life where I cut everyone off just so I could start. And, that's just what I needed to do for me. But I look around and I'm very happy with everyone that's around me, I see exactly what I wanted around me. And I know there's that foundation that I built. That's all I want around me. And that's all that's going to be around me.
Yeah. And so, thank you guys for watching.
Yes, sir.
Till next time.
We out here.
We out.
Stay tuned.